Today, what we'll be doing is removing some very unwanted rust underneath the floor pan of my car using a concoction made of regular household products, patching up any rust holes that may exist, and completely fixing those rust holes without any welding or fiberglass. So, is this the proper way of doing this? Yes, given the situation, it absolutely is. This is 100% the correct way of doing this, which I'll be explaining as we go through it. Now, the first step we're going to be doing is removing the rust. And on this car, we've got plenty of that. And there are lots of ways of removing rust. But before you open your bleeding wallets for a car that's already rusting out, let's look at some options here. Now, if your car has already got rust spots that need fixing, I'm just gonna guess that you have an older car. Am I right so far? And if you do have an older car, that likely means it's not actually worth very much money. My car, for example, is a 2013 Chrysler 300, which is a car that I like very much. However, it's not a car that's worth a whole lot of money. Just out of curiosity, I recently got a quote from Carvana and they wanted to offer me like $4,000. And the thing is, it's worth a whole lot more than that to me. I mean, I love my car. I love it a lot more than Carvana does, which means I'm definitely willing to put in some work to keep this car on the road. But at the same time, I'm not stupid enough to dump a bunch of money into this thing that is never going to be coming back to me if I ever eventually sell it. That would be called throwing good money at bad money. In this scenario, the goal should just be to simply keep the car looking good and, more importantly, in good working condition for as long as possible while spending as little money as possible. Now back to removing that rust. So the internet has lots of ideas on how to remove rust, including white vinegar and even Coca-Cola. But the method we're going to be doing is baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. And let me tell you, this method works. I mean, you know what rust looks like. I know I sure do. And all I had to do was mix a little hydrogen peroxide with some baking soda and scrub it on with a toothbrush. And all of that rust was pretty much gone. However, we're not trying to take any chances with that rust coming back. So I made sure to spray all of the rust spots with gray Rust-Oleum primer. And if you didn't know, Rust-Oleum is called that because it does prevent rust from spreading. So just in case I didn't kill some of the rust with the hydrogen peroxide / baking soda concoction that I applied, the Rust-Oleum primer should have us covered. The next step is patching up the actual holes that exist in the floor pan of my car. And we'll need to start that process by adding some kind of backing before we fill the holes in. So I just simply trace the holes with a Sharpie on a piece of paper and then cut that shape out of the metal from an aluminum can. Now listen, again, I'm not saying this is the proper way of doing this. The proper way of doing this would be removing the seats and the carpet out of the car, cutting around the rust, cutting out all of the metal that could possibly have rust on it, and welding in new sheet metal. But that's always an option for later on down the line. Right now, we mostly just want to stop the rust from spreading because the floor pan is still plenty strong enough as long as the rust doesn't get any worse. But time will tell. And what I've decided to do is use this DevCon metal adhesive to put the thin aluminum backing into the hole. And yes, I am going to be using a beer can to create that backing. And to be frank, I've never heard of this product, but it does say that it works with just about anything. So I'm hoping it works okay, because this is what we'll be using to attach the aluminum from the beer can to whatever is behind my floor pan. But this is just the backing. We'll put the actual patch on now. And this part is pretty simple. We're going to be applying some JB Weld onto the backing in order to fill the holes that we have. And in this situation, we are again just trying to stop the rust from completely taking over the car and fill in the holes. And with this method, we can at least be sure that we've slowed down the problem. But more than likely, we've fixed this problem permanently. Because keep in mind, this does not have to last forever. It just has to outlast the rest of the car. And if you've got an older car and a high mileage engine, it wouldn't really make that much sense to spend a whole bunch of money or put in a whole bunch of work to try to repair a floor pan when there are bigger problems just over the horizon. But please leave me your comments or sly remarks in the comment section, like the video, and subscribe for more videos. Till next time.